Hi, I'm Lisa Singer, the Senior Director of Event Programming at MediaPost, and welcome to the Brand Insider Series, Ask Me Anything. And we started this, our summits create such a unique atmosphere that we wanted to really bring that community feel with us when we leave, when we're back home at work or remote or whatever we may be doing, but we want to keep that feeling alive. And so that's why we started this series. So insiders, all of our summiteers can ask questions, but everyone else can ask questions just to really get to know one another, both professionally and a little bit personally. So Lyle Currier, he is with us today. He's on the hot seat, as we like to say, and he is the North America Consumer Media Lead. Is that correct? Did I say your title right?
Nailed it.
All right, Lyle, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Great to see you again. And I'm honored to be here.
Well, I have to say, you were at our Data and Programmatic Summit earlier, and everyone, hands down, would just talk like they're like, you were the nicest guy they met, the nicest person. You added so much to the event. Like you got raves for sure. I mean, we should just hire you and just keep you coming because everyone was so thrilled to have you there. Talk about how is that for you? And like, I mean, obviously, I think that's just your personality, but did they create a community, like that made you want to sort of just get involved and just know everyone?
I'm blushing now, but really, I'll turn it back to you, Lisa, and I'd really just say props to the Media Post crew. I mean, for one, the venue, it's hard to be in a bad mood with the venue and the backdrop of the mountains. So I'll say that honestly, but again, there's really, big props to you guys for creating such a collaborative environment. Where really everyone is there, not as competition or anything, but really to improve themselves as advertisers and marketers, and just really a great spirit of collaboration. And then I think, given all the activities and dinners and events that are set up from your team, I think that sort of naturally, breeds a lot of friendship and really a sense of community. And so it's really easy to just kind of fall into that spirit of community and really make the most of that time. And it truly was a blast. And it's great to be reconnecting here.
Well, and like I said, I'm not making it up. Like I don't watch my other videos. I'm not saying that. Everyone really did think that way of you. So that again, props to you for that. But I want to get more into you, but we do have questions for you that people have submitted. But since I know you just went to the Grand Ole Opry for the first time in Nashville, I have to ask that as a country fan, like what was that like?
Yep, shout outs to Nashville, my home city here, the Music City. I say that though, I mean, and of course, ironically, that was the very first time I've actually been to the Grand Ole Opry as a Nashville resident. So I needed to finally check that one off the list. But it was a wonderful time. Anyone that's a fan of country music or really just a fan of music in general, definitely recommend go check it out for the history, the culture of it. It really is an awesome venue. But then next up. We've got the Ryman Auditorium actually down the street from my house that I also need to check off as part of the musical history.
Wow. Okay. Well, and I actually have some musical questions coming up from people, but we'll get to that later. I want one of the questions that we got from someone who was at the summit, and he talked about you speaking of really that hyper personalization and the growing the partnerships, that it's so vital for what you guys are doing at Lenovo.
Mm-hmm.
So talk about that. We're moving into 2025. How are you gearing up for that for 2025?
Yeah, I think it really echoes, the same strategies that we spoke about during the Media Post Summit a couple of months ago, which really are to continue to build the partnerships that provide, high value content, and again, where the audiences align really well with your target audience. Kind of stepping away from just relying on purely programmatic signals, and instead just buying on properties and websites. For example, we understand that IGN has very high affinity with our gaming audience, and so it makes sense. Let's buy media where they're found, and then simultaneously they also provide as part of the overall media packages, content and partnerships and sponsorships that really help us cut through the clutter beyond just our standard, studio produced assets. And so really, everything that we're looking at heading into 2025 is just going to echo a lot of that and continue to build on our partnerships. And then, and that leads into the beauty of continued relationships, because now we have a set of partners that understand our business really well. They understand, our strategies. And so they're able to, we don't have to start net new briefing them every quarter. They're able to build on the past success. They know what works with us, and they're able to provide deals and content opportunities that continue to build on those strategies.
Well, and also on the personalization side of things, and I know part of what you spoke to was contextual marketing and really reaching consumers in a different way. Do you see that staying the same? Or what do you see consumers? I mean, they expect a lot now. Do you expect that to continue into 2025?
Yeah, absolutely. Just in terms of just hyper targeting, the right audience. Yeah, absolutely. And so I think again that goes hand in hand with just buying, contextually where we know the audience is. But then of course I could get into my spiel that, clean rooms I think are really going to be the key to a lot of hyper personalization. And I think, I'll throw out an example here because this is something that we're looking forward to testing. Is with clean room data, you can work with these CTV partners and understand exactly what kind of content that your highest value customer is consuming. And then when you are able to understand that, then you can buy exactly where they are. And so I really think that that's going to be the next step for a lot of our targeting as well.
Great. Well, we also have AI. We can't like you at the summit.
Oh Lord. Yeah, and over here working for a tech company, you can't go longer than 30 minutes without it being spoken about. So definitely a hot topic over here.
Well, one of the questions we got for you was, what concerns you the most about the development of artificial intelligence?
I wouldn't necessarily say, I know I had kind of a cheeky comment just because we're all sort of oversaturated by AI, but I really wouldn't say concern as much as I am excited about it as a media buyer and a media strategist. Um, I think there's a lot of creative concerns that are very warranted, especially with copywriting and the usage of likeness, and I think there's a lot of legality that needs to be addressed there. But for my role, I mainly look at it, excitement in terms of data analysis. For example, if I have a question, where I'm thinking, what are, our year over year trends to this specific partner for this specific product over the last 3 years, I'm hoping that I can get to a point with AI where I just paste an Excel sheet that has the data into AI, understand exactly, give it all the questions that I have, and then AI can address that versus me sifting through a spreadsheet and a pivot table. And I hope that that can save me, up to 30 minutes to an hour of analysis. In addition to, of course, I think a lot of the common things that we, in the marketing world deal with, such as deck creation, analyzing decks, and reviewing, speaker notes following a meeting, just using AI to help digest that and save time, I think are the primary benefits for my role.
Yeah, I think what everyone can agree on is just being more efficient, getting things done and giving
Exactly.
time to do things that require a little bit more depth from you. So get rid of the more mundane kind of things.
Yeah, exactly. But because that question did ask about concerns, I'll get on my soapbox for one thing that I was thinking about over this weekend, actually, is because I saw a new advertisement, for Apple Intelligence. And so this is kind of a hot take here. But where the ad, essentially shows an employee that is sort of, in the commercial implies that he's kind of a goofball, and he's sort of a humorous way of emailing, and he writes out, something along the lines of, I think we need to like Shazang this a little bit more, but you're the big enchilada, and so he's got a very goofy way of speaking, but then he plugs it into AI and it corrects it, to something completely different than his tone of voice, but it's professional sounding. And then that's the story of the commercial, is that you can be a complete goofball, but just plug it into AI and it'll make you sound professional. I was a little concerned watching this commercial because it does make me concerned that we get to a point of written communication where I'm always second guessing you is this AI or is this is this someone I'm speaking to? I think AI should definitely enhance our writing and make us more effective in our written communication, but I hope it never gets to a point where it just completely overwrites our personality in emails and text. And so I think that is one concern I have moving forward.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I mean, I mean, and I don't think this goes as far as what you're talking about when you have the fakes out there, but it's just if it can change, like this is who I am and I'm speaking this way, and then it wants, it can, if it can alter you in a way that maybe isn't true to who you are.
Exactly, exactly. And it gets to a point of, inauthenticity. Then I think it starts getting a little weird, in blur territory.
Yep, no, I agree with that. Okay, so another question from a summiteer. So you were seen having fun hiking and horseback riding. There was some mention of karaoke.
Well,
Okay,
speaking of AI and name and likeness there, that must have been AI generated.
so I guess they were talking about what we were doing. Did you hike
Yeah.
and go horseback riding?
I did go horseback riding, yeah, in beautiful Lake Tahoe and hiking. So
Okay, so
wonderful views there.
AI involved. You were doing
Yeah,
that.
I was doing that. I'm not sure about the karaoke, but
No, no, you didn't do karaoke, but there was a conversation that talking about next time you meet up, perhaps do some karaoke.
okay.
So I have to ask you, or the person says, I have to ask you, what's your go-to song?
Oh man, it's a great question there. We were just talking about Nashville, so I think I'd have to lean into the country roots there. Represent Nashville, but I also have to, I think, lean into my LSU roots as an LSU grad. Go Tigers, and maybe you do a little Louisiana Saturday Night by Mel McDaniel, or maybe hit him with a little Calling Baton Rouge by Garth Brooks if I'm really feeling it.
All right,
So
that's good
two
to
two
know.
solid answers right there.
All right, so then remember, I'm recording this, so the next event you come to,
All
we're
right, well, I guess that's it then.
going to
that's
karaoke.
that's the deal.
All right, so and I'm looking for a laptop. What's the overall model I can't miss with? In, of course, Lenovo.
Ooh, that's a hot question right there. Well, of course, I got to represent the consumer business, so I'd say you really can't go wrong with a Lenovo Yoga for all purposes. But then, if I'm talking to a gamer, definitely recommend the Lenovo Legion. That is strong enough to handle any game at any spec, but also slick enough to bring into the office or a coffee shop and do work off of. So you can't go wrong with either of those two options.
All right. Well, here's a question I love. All right. What do you think you're really good at, even if others don't necessarily agree?
Well, karaoke, I'd probably have to default back to that. Oh, that's a great question. Yeah, I'm just gonna say karaoke right there.
I'll stick with that, and I'll let
Yeah,
them know once we're back at the next event and you're
can
singing.
see it. Yeah, exactly. Maybe I
I'll let
can
them
prove
know if
them
I
wrong.
agree.
Yeah.
Another question. Is there a cause that's close to your heart?
Oh, that's also a really great question there. I mean, yeah, recently on a more serious topic, I just think the recovery of North Carolina has been very important to me. And one thing that I've been really impressed with Lenovo's stance, with the donations that Lenovo and the quick call to action and supporting a lot of the local organizations that are helping North Carolina recover following the hurricane there. And they also did a match, an employee match. And so every, donation that every employee made, Lenovo would match it. So that, yeah, I'd probably say that's my answer just as an area. I currently live in Nashville, but lived in North Carolina for 7 years. And that was my absolute favorite, activity would be to travel out west and travel into those mountains and visit Asheville and a lot of the towns and cities that were, unfortunately, severely impacted there. And so definitely, recovery efforts are top of mind currently.
Yeah, no, I completely agree, and that's so wonderful of Lenovo to do that. Um, And I said Lenovo. I know I trailed off, but I did not use an.
Those brand awareness efforts, are paying off. You nailed it.
I know when we first started talking, it was actually a typo, but
Yeah.
it's Lenovo.
We're doing our job. Yeah, we're doing our job with the
Yeah.
brand awareness.
Okay, so are you ready for our rapid fire questions?
All right, let's hit them.
Okay, so this, remember, don't think about it. Keep them quick. The answer is quick, nice to the point, and here we go. All
All
right.
right, just make sure I
Last,
don't get myself in trouble here.
all right,
Yeah.
last book you read.
I'm blanking out on the name. Hold on, let me Google it real quick. Hold on, this is the Demon of Unrest by Eric Larson. Great
Okay.
book.
All right, good.
I
Okay, good.
cheated there. I thought about it, but
That's
next one.
okay. That happens. I'm horrible at thinking of things like that. Okay. Peanut or plain M&Ms?
Peanut.
Okay.
100%. 100%.
Childhood nickname?
It's not safe for work. My initials, LC. That's the
Elsie.
media post, and you'll have to go to karaoke night to get the unfiltered version.
All right, I will wait for that. And well, you already mentioned it, so we'll maybe skip the favorite song, unless there's another favorite song that maybe doesn't go with karaoke.
I'd say there's another song. I'm from Louisiana. It's also a favorite one that's up there. That's maybe not karaoke, appropriate, but I'd also add that into the list.
All right. What ad campaign do you wish you had thought of?
Ooh, that's a good question. First thing that comes to mind is the Super Bowl commercial where the little kid thinks he's Darth Vader, but it's the dad inside that's playing with the the remote. That's the first thing that comes to mind. That commercial gives me a chuckle every single time.
I
Second
agree.
thing that comes to mind, I absolutely love the Dr. Pepper Fanville commercials. Every Saturday when I'm watching college football and I get the Dr. Pepper commercials, they get me every time.
Okay, good to go. And last one, favorite holiday, since we're in the holiday season right now. Just finished Halloween, coming up with Thanksgiving, Christmas, or it could be anything else.
I'm a Christmas guy. I'll tell you, I love all the Christmas aesthetic. The green, silver, the red, the Christmas tree. I've got a peppermint candle that's burning in the background here. And dare I say it, Lisa? This could have been, and also an answer favorite song, but I don't think it's too early to start playing Christmas music. I might get some Mariah Carey going later.
She just actually just released her whole Christmas thing today, I think, or the day yesterday, or whatever day it was. I actually just saw the promo. I didn't watch the news, so I
Okay.
don't
Well, then I've got my
know, of course.
afternoon activity lined up for me.
But I fully agree. We sang them all the time as a kid. So, oh, and your dog, what's his
Oh,
name?
there's Finley. There's Finley getting riled up. Yeah, and he might be arguing with me, saying it's too early. It's too early. You got to at least wait until Thanksgiving. But I'm saying no. It's we can go. We can
Uh,
go.
well, Finley, we appreciate your opinion.
Yeah.
We're all for Christmas carols starting now. All right. Again, thanks, Lyle, so much. I really appreciate you. Are awesome.
Awesome. This was fun. Thank you so much, Lisa. Look forward to the next time.
Yes, for sure. And thank you for watching. And please, if you want anyone for us to put on the hot seat, if you want to be put on the hot seat, we want to be here for you to bring the vibe of our summits to everyone. So if you have a question for one of our future interviewees, or as I said, you want to be one, let us know. And thanks again for watching.